Hello and a very good evening. You're with me, Razi Ahmad, for TVS English News at 5. Let's get right into it. Today, Hindu followers across the nation are celebrating the Thaipusam festival. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin extended his Thaipusam greetings to all Malaysian Hindus, and I hope these celebrations this year would continue to foster unity and preserve the country's harmony and prosperity.
Muhyiddin said Thaipusam this year has to be celebrated in moderation without the usual processions like in previous years so as to contain the COVID-19 pandemic. In a Facebook post, the Prime Minister thanked all Hindus for complying with the standard operating procedure by performing the rituals according to the new norms in their respective homes. He added that Thaipusam is usually celebrated in Malaysia with chariot processions journeying to the Hindu temples, bearing the statue of Lord Murugan Kavadis and Pa'al Kudam or the milk pot Kavadi. Thaipusam is one of the religious festivals for Hindus around the world and celebrated in the month of Thai, the 10th month in the Tamil calendar. Muhyiddin said for Hindus, Thaipusam is an opportunity to fulfill their vows.
Meanwhile, the Thaipusam celebration in Kuching this year was done without a chariot procession, and only prayer sessions were allowed, which were restricted to the public.
Kuching Hindu Temple Association Honorary Secretary V. Kavineshvaran said his party had obtained permission from the Unit for Other Religions, Uni4. However, this year's prayer ceremony is limited to the temple committee members only. The temple gates were ordered to close in order to prevent the public from entering. He explained the prayer ritual was carried out with strict adherence to standard operating procedures.
Setiap tahun pada Thaipusam sebelum ni ada perarakan Kavadi daripada kuil Sri Mahamariman Temple Jalan Road ke kuil Sri Srinivasa Kaliman Temple lah. So tahun ini tiada perarakan. Masa semayang memang kami kena mengikutlah SOP yang ditetapkan, iaitu memakai mask, mengambil suhu jawatan kuasa dan scan pada MySejahtera lah.
He said this is one of the efforts of the committee in fulfilling their duties during Thaipusam, while at the same time adhering to strict SOPs in order to curb the COVID-19 pandemic. Sambutan Thaipusam di Kuching pada kali ini diakui lebih sunyi namun masih dilaksanakan dengan penuh penghayatan, menunaikan segala kewajipan meski terpaksa akur dengan kebiasaan baru demi melindungi kesihatan dan keselamatan masing-masing. Sekian laporan Odlin Katerni bersama juru kamera Faitullah Morni untuk TVS Kuching.
A total of 7.9 million ringgit in compensation has been handed over to 46 residents in order to resume the Village Expansion Scheme, or SPK, of Kampung Stungang Melayu, Lundu. Tanjung Batu Assemblyman Dato' Amar Jamila Anu said the compensation is aimed at providing 49 lots with an area of 82.3 acres.
According to him, this SPK project could be implemented smoothly because of the staunch support of the village community and community leader who are always cooperating with the government. He said the program ran smoothly and was completed since last year. However, the check handover ceremony was forced to be postponed following the implementation of the movement control order. Meanwhile, Kuching Division Land and Survey Enforcer Alfian Bawi said more than 200 lots will be equipped with halls, fields, electricity, paved roads and more. The total fund for the aforementioned lots is between 100,000 to 200,000 ringgit, and a lot application must be submitted to the Land and Survey Department for consideration. Furthermore, he said the Sarawak government has lowered the land premium rate by 50%. With regard to this, the premium rate is now set at 2,500 ringgit.
Sarawak Community Welfare Department, JKMS, will continue offering their service to the state's homeless. The Minister of Welfare, Community Wellbeing, Women, Family and Childhood Development, KWKPK, Dato' Sri Fatima Abdullah, said the group has the right to be cared for and receive suitable assistance in order to ease their burdens.
KWKPK, along with its strategic partners, have begun integrated and targeted monitoring operations to identify the homeless community to be rescued around Kuching City. This is aimed at addressing the ongoing homelessness issue in Sarawak, specifically during the COVID-19 pandemic. Regarding the operation, Fatimah said it differs from other operations conducted by JKMS previously. In previous operations, the rescued homeless were brought to a place in Anjong Singgah, Kuching. However, the operation conducted on Wednesday night only involved monitoring, giving food and providing sleeping bags to the homeless. This followed the numerous reports and complaints lodged by the community. Fatimah said the ministry has also identified 4 zones comprising 13 homeless abodes in the Kuching area. These include India Street, Kuching Waterfront and Padungan, Pending, Bintawa and Demak, Tabuan, Kenyalang Park and Stampin, 3rd Mile, Batu Kawa, 7th Mile and 10th Mile.
The management of Miri Hospital has decided to not allow visitors to enter Miri Hospital ward, effective immediately on January 27. The decision was made known through a media statement by Miri Hospital management following the rise of COVID-19 cases recently.
According to the statement, only one caregiver is allowed to be with a patient. However, the entry and presence of caregivers in the ward will depend on the discretion of the ward managers involved. Every caregiver who obtained permission to be in the ward is advised to follow the orders of ward management from time to time, aside from adhering to health screening protocols that are implemented in the 2 entryways of the facility. Miri Hospital is a hybrid hospital that is responsible for managing positive COVID-19 cases, aside from delivering medical services for common clinical cases at the same time.
The involvement of the Malaysian Armed Forces ATM in Operation Benteng and Operation Penawa has proven that the level of asset preparedness is at a satisfactory level. This was stressed by Malaysian Armed Forces Chief General Tan Sri Effendi Buang in a statement on Wednesday.
According to him, this could be proven with the involvement of ATM and the continuous use of its assets in performing their duties. This includes patrolling, monitoring, intelligence gathering and support duties. In connection to this, ATM would need to strengthen and refine their execution of Op Benteng. This is aimed at preventing illegal immigrants from encroaching on national borders for fears of an outbreak of the coronavirus, thus crippling the government's efforts to stop the pandemic.
4 male suspects aged between 18 and 30 years old were arrested by the police in Bau after they tested positive for drugs.
Bau District Police Chief DSP Pojinyaun said initially 5 male individuals were rounded up at Kampong Sebubok, Bau by the district's Narcotic Crime Investigation Department around 3:30 p.m. yesterday. He said in a statement only 4 of them tested positive for methamphetamine and amphetamine. After the results were obtained, all 4 suspects were arrested under Section 15 in bracket 1 subsection A of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952 for drug abuse. The other individual who tested negative was later released. Poji added he did not find any drugs at the location where all 5 were rounded up. He also said the district's NCID will continue to conduct similar operation to eradicate drug-related activities in targeted areas in Bau.
The Malaysia Indonesia border, situated in southern Sarawak, is one of the hotspots for human trafficking and smuggling activities in the state. According to Deputy Chief Minister Tan Sri James Jamut Masing, the areas were designated as such due to the many villages located on both sides that facilitate these illicit activities.
He, who is also Sarawak Border Security Committee JKSS chairman, said strengthening efforts is absolutely needed in light of the worrying border security situation. The state government also prioritizes preparing the necessary equipment for the relevant parties to improve their efficiency in carrying out their duties. Among the facilities to be provided for this purpose are patrol vehicles, including scrambler motorbikes, all-terrain vehicles ATVs, as well as 4-wheel drives. Solar-powered Connect-Me systems will also be installed in areas inaccessible to telecommunications towers. He added the system is suitable for remote border posts such as Tapak Megah, Pandora region in Kapit Division and Bak Lalan in Limbang Division that are facing difficulties in basic telecommunications facilities.
Well, that's it for now, but stay tuned for more news updates. I am Razi Ahmad for TVS. Stay safe.